So sexual intensity needs to be supplemented with emotional connection over time. A new marriage that is lacking in intimacy may be in trouble. On those rare occasions where I touch myself, I finish in 2 minutes. No fuss, no mess. Just think far too much time and energy is wasted on sex. When I hear some men say, oh, sex is overrated, I just think it's a thing that someone who can't get the kitty would say. And if it is in less than 2 minutes, then baby boy, you're doing something wrong. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Jane Lawrence and I come with a lot of juicy content. All right. So I've got a series of questions to dive into it, and without waste of time, here is one that says, can you have a healthy marriage without sex? Once the thrill is gone, is it possible to still stay together? Now, let's be real here. I have some friends, who have gotten married, and after some years, the intimacy gone in the air. They've not had it in some months, all right? Or even years. There's some couples who haven't had, intercourse in some years. It happens. These things happen, in some marriages. But they're still happy, or they show themselves to be happy and content with their lives together and apart when they go out to, do their various businesses during the day. Now, while I do agree that sex is one of the most important parts that glue couples together, I do think that it is possible to have a long-lasting relationship without sex. Because just as with every other thing that we get used to and that we've done repeatedly, over time, sex will tend to become overrated and overhyped as couples mature. So this is more or less like for couples who have been together for a protracted, long period of time. Now, I may be wrong, but I think that real joy and lasting pleasure comes from a deep and authentic emotional connection with another human being. Even in a moment where, there is nothing to say or do together, just basking in the silence, knowing that no matter what, you are loved by that one person who is seated next to you. It's in the laughter, the trust, the vulnerability, and the respect that you find in, your lasting relationship, which of course is a prerequisite for a healthy relationship. In order to keep it going, if you both have reached, that point where sex is infrequent. All right. So as a matter of fact, over time, that deep emotional connection is far more important than, physical intimacy. That's why I always encourage lovers to build more far away from their bedroom. That's what keeps you going when the urge is no longer there. So sexual intensity needs to be supplemented with emotional connection over time. Let's consider the situation in casual sex or hookups. People may be having great sex but without emotional closeness. And what happens in that instance? They start to feel empty and alone than if they were in an emotionally fulfilling relationship that doesn't really necessarily include sex. But I do believe that there's got to be balance, because a new marriage that is lacking in intimacy may be in trouble, because intimacy feeds the relationship physically, emotionally, and spiritually. So if this ratio becomes skewed in the opposite direction, then it becomes destructive. Destructive feelings will start to emerge between the partners, like resentment and anger, frustration, and all of that stuff. So the key to making a sexless relationship work is communication. Both partners must be okay with it. So if you both decide that your shared values and your togetherness are more important than, the physical nature of the relationship, then it is more likely that you both can transcend the lack of physical intimacy in your relationship. Also, I would advise that you try to maintain sensual connection while at it, so that you don't get irritated at some point by your partner's touch. So honestly, for couples who have been together for a long time, of course, sex might seem overrated or overhyped, because when the trust and the intimacy have been established, without the sex, both partners do not necessarily need, their basic sexual urge to be fulfilled for them to be happy and healthy. So yes, a sexless marriage can still work. And that's if you've had years of steaming passion, years and years before, and now you're just too old to bump and grind. Do you get what I mean? Now, another question here in the same light says that, why are people so obsessed with sex? I am a guy who thinks it's vastly overrated, messy, and time consuming. On those rare occasions where I touch myself, I finish in 2 minutes. No fuss, no mess. Just think far too much time and energy is wasted on sex. Can I possibly be alone? Ooh, my guy. Well, I suppose those in the comment section can help you answer if you're alone or not, but I would say that you're not alone. But maybe you might be missing out on something really great and special. And when I hear some men say, oh, sex is overrated, I just think it's a thing that someone who can't get the kitty would say, so as to feel good about being sexless. Because the fact still remains that sex is a central part of human life. Biologically speaking, it is literally why we're here. To make more of ourselves. And nature has provided us with a lot of incentives to do that, with all of the good feelings that lovemaking delivers, not to mention the least of which is the sense of bonding that intimacy helps us achieve with another human being. Who wants to be alone? Who wants to touch themselves alone? Do you get what I mean? And two, if it is too quick, if it is too tidy, and if it is in less than 2 minutes, then baby boy, you're doing something wrong. I'm not saying that you have to change, darling. If you're happy with your status quo, then fine, good. I don't think that anyone should feel pressured in this already sexualized culture that we find ourselves. Because people find satisfaction in many number of ways. And some people are asexual in nature. No big deal about it. But on the flip side of things, it is possible that you might have a medical condition called hyposexual desire disorder. Or you might have some other, psychological reason why you are uninterested in intimacy. Only a doctor can figure out that for you, for sure. All I can tell you is that intimacy, if it is good, if it is messy, if it is unpredictable, if it is powerful, if it is heartbreaking and joyful, all of them at the same time, I mean, it is one of life's grand adventures. And not everyone has to take that trip, but be sure to know why you're not taking that trip, okay? All right then, these are some of the questions that I have gotten my interest. So if you do have questions that need answer, don't you fail to send an email to, oh, don't you forget to put them, you can put them in the comment section right below, there. Just put them in a comment section. I'm going to get them. If you also disagree with what I had to say about, leaving a sexless marriage, then you could also put your comment. I need to see your opinions right there. Don't you forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share my videos. Until next time, I love you.